You are a junior engineer. Your rank is nearly invisible. You work deep in the bowels of Starbase Epsilon. The station hums with the low thrum of a galactic war. The air tastes of recycled oxygen and faintly burnt coffee. It is a taste you have come to know very well. You keep your head down. You fill out reports perfectly and on time. You never question orders from your superiors. Your silence is a form of armor. Behind it, your mind moves at incredible speeds. You see connections others miss. You solve equations in your sleep. While the Admiralty demands new weapons, bigger guns, stronger shields, you dream of something else. You dream of a different kind of solution, a way to end the fighting without another generation being lost to the void. They see you as a quiet, efficient cog in their great war machine. Just another pair of hands to draft schematics. They do not know you see the war itself as a design flaw, a problem waiting for an elegant solution. And in the silent hours of your shift, you search for it. You look for an answer that is not written in fire and steel. One day, a summons appears on your console. It is not a request, it is an order. You are to report to the Admiralty's Design Council immediately. You feel a cold knot of dread in your stomach. This is not the kind of attention you ever wanted. Your invisibility has been compromised. The quiet place where you dreamed of peace is about to be invaded by the clamor of war. You walk through corridors of polished gray metal. Stern-faced officers march past you without a glance. They are the architects of conflict. You are just a tool. You arrive at a heavy blast door. It slides open with a grim hiss. The room inside is dark, dominated by a massive holotable. Figures stand around it like ancient priests at an altar. They did not summon you for your genius. You realize this quickly. They summoned you for your reputation for speed. The war with the Xylos is going poorly. A whole sector has fallen. The fleet needs a new star drive engine, and they need it yesterday. The desperation in the room is a physical force, pressing down on you. The lead admiral, a woman with tired eyes, gestures to the holotable. A schematic of the current fleet engine appears. It is a mess of compromises and hasty upgrades. "It's too slow," she says, her voice flat. "It is inefficient. The Xylos ships are running circles around us." She looks at you. "We need a faster, more powerful drive. Your supervisor says you are the fastest drafter he has ever seen. They want you to design another weapon, a better engine to carry their warships into battle. A tool to burn enemy worlds and shatter enemy fleets." Every instinct in you screams in protest. But you simply nod. You say nothing. You let them see the quiet, compliant engineer. You will give them their engine, but it will be so much more than they could ever imagine. Admiral Vorlag steps out of the shadows. He is a mountain of a man. His face looks like it was carved from granite. His eyes hold no warmth, only a burning intensity. He dismisses the other council members with a wave of his hand. He wants to speak with you alone. Vorlag, they call him. The tyrant of the Outer Rim, the man who has never lost a battle. He circles the holotable, his presence filling the room. "The council wants efficiency," he says, his voice a low rumble. "They want a drive that saves on fuel. I want something else entirely." He stops and stares directly at you. His gaze is unnerving. It feels like he is weighing your soul. "I want an engine of pure, overwhelming power." He slams his fist on the table. A new schematic flares to life. It is not an engine. It is a weapon disguised as one. "I want the drive's exhaust to be a weapon," he growls. "I want it to melt the hull of any ship foolish enough to get behind one of my destroyers. I want its ignition sequence to create a shock wave that can disable enemy sensors. He sees only one path to victory: total annihilation. You are being ordered to create a monster, an engine whose primary purpose is destruction. It is the exact opposite of everything you believe in. But you see the flaw in his logic. He is so focused on brute force. He cannot imagine any other kind of power. This is your opening. His brutal vision gives you the perfect cover for your own secret design. You will build his engine of war, and you will hide a seed of peace deep within its core. Back in the quiet solitude of your design lab, you work. The schematics for Vorlag's engine are on one screen. It is a brutal, ugly thing, a testament to a mind that sees no beauty in the universe. But on your other screens, you have the enemy's data. You are studying intercepted Xylos communications. Everyone else has searched this data for weaknesses. They looked for shield frequencies and weapon charge rates. You are looking for something different. You are listening to the silence between the signals. For weeks, you have noticed something strange, a low-frequency hum that underlies all their transmissions. It is incredibly faint. Most analysts dismissed it as background radiation, the normal noise of deep space. But it is not random. It has a structure, a deliberate pattern. You filter out the noise, you amplify the signal, and there it is, a language hidden in the static. It is not verbal, it is mathematical. It is a complex waveform that pulses with a steady, rhythmic cadence. It is like listening to the heartbeat of their entire civilization. No one else saw it because they were not looking for it. They were listening for threats, not for a song. You realize what you have found. This is not a flaw in their technology. It is the very foundation of it. This is how their fleet moves as one. This is how they coordinate without speaking. It connects them. This is the secret to their unity. And you have just found the key to a door no one else even knew existed. A joke comes to mind about how the High Command would probably try to weaponize musical theory if they knew. The pattern is a resonant frequency. You run simulations, feeding the Xylos signal into your models. The results are breathtaking. Their ships are not just machines. They are extensions of a collective network. The frequency connects their engines, their computers, and perhaps even their pilots. They are not just a fleet. They are a single, interconnected entity. This is the heart of your plan. This is the answer you have been searching for. You cannot defeat them by breaking their ships. You must speak to their network. You must introduce a new variable into their equation, a new note into their song. What if you could use that very same frequency to send a message? Not a message of war, but of something else. Your mind races, your fingers flying across the console. You can build this into Vorlag's engine. The massive power he demands. It creates the perfect carrier wave. You can embed a secondary function, a harmonic modulator hidden deep within the plasma conduits. It would be invisible to any standard diagnostic. It would look like a simple energy efficiency regulator. They want a weapon that screams. You will give them an engine that sings. You begin to draw. The lines and curves of the new engine flow from your mind. It is a dual design. On the surface, it is Vorlag's engine of destruction. It meets every brutal specification he laid out. It will generate immense power. Its exhaust will be terrifyingly potent. The Admiralty will be thrilled. But underneath, woven into the very fabric of the design, is your secret, the resonance key. You design a series of delicate crystalline focusing arrays. They are disguised as heat sinks. You write complex algorithms for the fuel injection system. They appear to be for maximizing power output. In reality, they will shape the engine's resonance. They will turn its hum into a voice. You work for days without rest. The design is the most complex thing you have ever created. You have to ensure your modifications are completely undetectable. If anyone found out, Vorlag, the council, anyone, you would be charged with treason. They would lock you away for the rest of your life. Or worse. You bury your secret under layers of technical jargon and plausible engineering solutions. The ghost in the machine is taking shape. The prototype is moved to the primary assembly bay. The massive chamber echoes with the clang of metal and the hiss of plasma welders. Technicians swarm over the engine's framework like ants. You are there to oversee the construction. You watch every connection, every weld. Your secret must remain your own. You trust no one. Then you meet Kalen. He is a senior technician, a man with gray in his beard and decades of engine grease under his fingernails. He has built more star drives than you have had hot meals. He moves with a slow, deliberate confidence. And he is watching you. He does not trust new engineers. He thinks they always try to reinvent things that work perfectly well. One afternoon, he approaches you. He holds a datapad, his brow furrowed in confusion. "Engineer," he says, his voice rough. "These energy readings are odd." He points to a section of your schematic. Your power conduits are cycling energy in a strange pattern. It's inefficient. You're losing almost a full % of power to harmonic resonance. He looks at you, his eyes sharp. It's almost like you're tuning it. Your blood runs cold. He sees it. He does not understand it, but he sees the anomaly. You have to be careful. "It's a new method for stabilizing the plasma flow, Kalen," you say, your voice steady. The slight power loss is balanced by a massive increase in core stability under stress. It will prevent catastrophic overloads. You hold your breath. It is a plausible lie. Barely. Kalen grunts. He stares at the schematic a moment longer. "A tuned resonance for stability," he mutters to himself. "Never seen that before. Sounds like you were trying to teach a hammer to sing." He shakes his head and walks away. He is not convinced, but he has no proof of anything wrong. He has become a dangerous variable, an obstacle you must now navigate around constantly. The day of the first ignition arrives. The prototype engine core is complete. It sits in the center of a shielded testing chamber. It is a beautiful and terrifying object. A sphere of polished chrome and dark composites. Wires and conduits snake from it like veins. You stand in the observation room, separated from the core by a meter of transparent armor. Kalen is there. So are a dozen other senior engineers and officials. The weight of their expectation is immense. If this fails, your career is over. If it succeeds, a fleet of warships will be armed with your secret message of peace. You step up to the ignition console. You place your hand on the activation panel. The room is silent. Everyone is watching you. You take a deep breath. You begin the sequence. Power floods into the core. A low hum begins to build. It grows in volume, becoming a deep, resonant tone that you feel in your bones. The core begins to glow. First a dull red, then a brilliant white blue. Energy readings on the main screen climb rapidly. 100%, 120, 150. The numbers are staggering. The engine is even more powerful than you predicted. There is a collective gasp in the observation room. This is a leap forward in technology, but you are listening for something else. Underneath the roar of immense power, you can hear it. A faint, pure note. A single perfect frequency woven into the storm. It is the voice you gave the machine, the first note of your symphony. The engine is alive, and it is singing your song. Admiral Vorlag himself comes to review the test data. He stands before the main holo display, his arms crossed over his massive chest. He studies the power output charts. A rare, thin smile touches his lips. "Impressive," he rumbles. "More power than I thought possible. The fleet will finally have the teeth it needs." He is pleased. For a moment, you feel a sense of relief. But then his eyes narrow. He points to a secondary display. It shows the energy wave forms, the same ones Kalen found suspicious. "These signatures," Vorlag says, his voice hardening. "They are irregular. My experts cannot explain them." He turns to you. "Explain them, engineer." The room suddenly feels very cold. You repeat the lie you told Kalen. "They are the result of a new core stabilization method, Admiral. It creates minor harmonic distortions, but ensures the engine can run at extreme outputs without risk of overload." Vorlag stares at you, his eyes searching your face for any sign of deception. You meet his gaze without flinching. Inside, your heart is hammering against your ribs. He is not satisfied. An admiral like Vorlag does not believe in coincidences or unexplained variables. "I am assigning a political officer to your team," he declares. "Commander Valerius, he will monitor your progress. He will ensure this project adheres to all military protocols." Commander Valerius steps forward. He is a cold, pale man, with eyes like chips of ice. He offers you a smile that does not reach his eyes. You are no longer just an engineer. You are a prisoner under guard. The prototype is mounted on a heavily armed test frigate. You are sent to a remote, empty sector of space for a live fire test. Commander Valerius is a constant presence at your side. He watches your every move. He questions every command you give. He is a shadow you cannot shake. He is here to make sure you are building a weapon and nothing else. The frigate's captain is ordered to test the engine at maximum output. During the third test run, it happens. Alarms blare across the bridge. A vessel has just jumped into the system. It is a Xylos scout ship. It is small, fast, and it is less than 50,000 kilometers away. Standard military protocol is clear. Destroy any enemy vessel on sight. "Captain," Valerius says, his voice sharp and cold, "target that ship. Fire at will." The captain hesitates. "Sir, our orders are to test the engine, not engage the enemy." Valerius turns on him. "I am the ranking political officer. My orders are absolute. Destroy it. This is your only chance. It is a terrible risk. But you have to know if it works." While Valerius is distracted, you access a sub-command terminal. You type a short, encrypted command. The command diverts a tiny fraction of the engine's power. It activates the hidden harmonic modulator for just 1 second. A single, silent pulse of resonance expands from the frigate. It is invisible. It is undetectable to your ship's sensors. But you know it has been sent. On the main view screen, the Xylos ship is bracketed by targeting cursors. The frigate's main cannons are charged. Then, the impossible happens. The Xylos ship does not try to fight, does not try to flee. It simply stops. Its engine signature vanishes from the sensor board. Its running lights flicker and die. It floats dead in space like a discarded toy. On the bridge, there is stunned silence. "What happened?" Valerius demands. "Did we hit it?" The tactical officer shakes his head. "Negative, sir. We never fired." The Xylos scout drifts for another 10 seconds. Then, its engines flare to life, and it jumps away. It does not flee in panic. It departs with a sense of deep, profound confusion. Commander Valerius is furious. He files a report detailing the enemy ship's bizarre behavior. He suggests it might be a new form of electronic warfare. He accuses you of incompetence. He claims your engine's power fluctuations may have been detected, causing the Xylos to retreat. But he has no proof. The incident is officially logged as an unexplained encounter. A fluke. The High Command is not interested in anomalies. They are interested in power. And your engine produces more power than any drive in the fleet's history. Admiral Vorlag, despite his suspicions, cannot ignore the numbers. He pushes the design through the approval process. The Admiralty, desperate for an advantage, signs off on it. Your engine is approved for mass production. You watch as the first new cores roll off the assembly lines, then dozens, then hundreds. It is a chilling sight. An entire armada is being refitted with your technology. Each new warship carries your secret message of peace within its heart. The scale of your deception is now galactic. You have committed the greatest act of treason in human history. Or you have forged the only real path to peace. You are not sure which. A part of you thinks the universe has a strange sense of humor, giving a peacemonger the keys to the entire Navy. The day finally comes. The new human armada is assembled. A fleet of unprecedented size and power. Hundreds of warships, all equipped with your engine. They gather at the designated jump point. Their destination, the Xylos home system. The plan is simple, brutal, and direct. A single, overwhelming strike to decapitate the enemy's leadership and shatter their will to fight. You stand on the bridge of the flagship, the Invictus. Admiral Vorlag is at the center of it all, a dark sun of gravity and command. Commander Valerius stands near you, his watchful eyes never leaving you for a moment. You are here as the engine's chief designer, a technical advisor. In reality, you are a saboteur waiting for the perfect moment to act. The fate of two civilizations rests on a function that no one knows exists. Except you. The countdown for the jump begins. The navigations officer calls out the numbers. 10, 9, 8. You look out at the view screen. You see the star-dusted void. You see the ships of your fleet, silent and waiting. Are you a savior or a fool? 7, 6, 5. The combined energy of all those engines makes the very space around you feel thin. 4, 3, 2, 1. The universe outside the view screen dissolves into a tunnel of impossible light. You are on your way. The jump is disorienting, a moment of non-existence. Then, reality reasserts itself with a jolt. The Invictus emerges into normal space. The Xylos home system, a brilliant white star, hangs in the blackness. And before it, waiting, is the entire Xylos Grand Fleet. Thousands of their ships. They are arrayed in a perfect defensive formation. They knew you were coming. The bridge of the Invictus is suddenly a storm of activity. Alarms scream. Tactical officers shout reports. Enemy fleet is massive. They outnumber us 3-1. Admiral Vorlag laughs. It is a harsh, ugly sound. Numbers mean nothing against superior firepower. All ships advance. Target their command vessels. Fire at will. The battle begins. Lances of pure energy cross the void. Explosions bloom like silent, deadly flowers. The ship shudders as enemy fire impacts the shields. Chaos reigns. Vorlag is in his element. He barks orders, a master of destruction. The human fleet, powered by your engines, is terrifyingly fast and powerful. They tear into the Xylos formation. But the Xylos are resilient. For every one of their ships that dies, 2 more take its place. The battle is a maelstrom of violence. This is your moment. the moment you have planned for. You move to a secondary console, your movements calm and deliberate. Valerius is watching, but he is distracted by the fury of the battle. You access the master engine control network, your secret back door. You type in your authorization code, a code that does not officially exist. A new menu appears on your screen. A single command is available. Activate Harmonic Resonance Protocol. Your fingers hover over the control. This is it. You take a breath, and you press enter. Across the entire fleet, hundreds of engines receive a new command, a command that overrides all others. They begin to change their frequency. They begin to sing your song. A wave of pure resonance expands from the human fleet. It is not an attack. It is a message broadcast on the frequency that connects the entire Xylo civilization. It is a complex signal, a message of empathy, an equation that proves the futility of conflict. It is your soul, translated into the language of physics and mathematics, a symphony of engines playing a hymn of peace. On the bridge of the Invictus, the tactical officers fall silent. One by one, they stare at their screens in disbelief. "Sir," one of them stammers, "the enemy. They've stopped firing." Forlage whirls around. "What? Report!" The officer just points to the main view screen. Outside, the battle has ended. The thousands of Xylo's ships are no longer attacking. Their weapon ports are closing. Their engine lights are dimming. They are simply floating in space, motionless. Silence falls on the bridge. The only sound is the hum of the ship's life support. The enemy fleet, a moment ago a storm of deadly fury, is now perfectly still. They have not been destroyed. They have been disarmed. Their will to fight has been rewritten by a song they could not ignore. Admiral Vorlag stares at the silent enemy, his face a mask of rage and utter confusion. "What is happening?" He screams into the silence. "Why aren't they fighting?" The resonance wave from your engines did not destroy them. It spoke to them. It bypassed their pilots, their captains, their admirals. It went straight to the core of their interconnected network. It showed them a truth they had forgotten. That war was an illogical, self-defeating program. The silence on the bridge is the sound of a century of hatred ending. It is the sound of your victory. Your unauthorized access to the engine network is discovered within minutes. 2 heavily armed guards flank you. Commander Valerius stands before you, his face cold with triumph. "Treason," he says softly. "I knew there was something wrong with you. Admiral Vorlag wants you executed on the spot. You are placed under arrest. You offer no resistance. You have done what you came to do." But then, something else happens. A new signal is detected. It is coming from the lead Xylo ship. It is not a threat. It is not a surrender. It is an open channel communication. The first direct message from the Xylos in over 100 years. The communications officer patches it through to the main screen. He looks pale. "Admiral," he says, They want to talk." The galaxy is stunned. The war is over. Not with a bang, but with a sudden, profound silence. Your actions are revealed. The story of the engineer who hid a message of peace inside an engine of war spreads from system to system. Some call you a traitor. Others call you a savior. You are not the architect of a new weapon. You are the engineer of a new era. The woman who wrote peace into engine blueprints. And the universe will never be the same.